Be sure you're right, and a hole through Yah. A talk by Adi da Samraj, from Recognition of Me is Liberation. Devotee, beloved Lord, I had children before I knew about you. They now live with their father, and I sometimes wonder if it was actually my karmic responsibility to continue raising them. But this only concerns me when I get involved in thinking about it. Whenever I am turned to you, my heart tells me that there is no karmic destiny that I am required to fulfill. Avatar Adi da Samraj. Turning to me is a steadiness of turning. It is not about dropping back on something, thinking it over again. Is it right? Did you do the right thing? Should you do something else? Blah, 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 blah. And then you periodically look in my direction, briefly, before you wander back into your internal drama again. Devotion to me is the constant turning of the faculties to me, which means forgetting the patterns, the contents of the faculties. In every moment, there is this turning to me, instead of meditating on the contents of memory or mind or any of the faculties in any association. The faculties are turned to me. Attention is turned to me. As my grandfather once said in transmitting the family wisdom to my father, who then transmitted it to me, be sure you're right, and a hole through Yah. The be sure you're right part, well, you made that agreement by becoming my devotee. Now there has to be a hole through Yah, head to toe. You must be turned to me. You have agreed to do the right part, the right life part, but the turning to me part is what is weak. There is not a hole through Yah. There are holes all over you. It is a broken path. Instead of remaining concentrated in the straight and narrow, as my father used to say, of devotional turning to me, you are going over your concerns about your life business again and again, running around in circles. This is to have the faculties turned on themselves, on their contents. It is not devotion to me. Devotion to me is not periodically saying, I surrender to you. It is not just saying this to me occasionally, or however frequently. Devotion to me is consistently turning to me, forgetting the contents of the faculties. Turning to me does not mean that you fail to handle your life business. You handle life business according to my instructions so that you can be turned to me in every moment. If you have not handled your life business, you cannot be truly turned to me. You must handle it. If there are matters of life business that you're required to address, you must pay sufficient attention to those matters to handle your obligations and set things in order. Then you are free to be turned to me. Then you are no longer going from one foot to the other. Yes, and knowing yourself, wandering in yourself. That position is the position of egoity, of self-contraction, of ego possession. It is fruitless and repetitive. It is exactly what it is to be a mummer in the world. It is not turning to me. To turn to me is to forget self. You cannot forget yourself if you have not handled the business that pertains to self. Therefore, my instruction is there as guidance for right life, so that you are free to be turned to me in every circumstance. If you are right, then you turn directly to me. if you have not established the rightness, the order in any moment, any context, any circumstance, then you will remain preoccupied with whatever is not handled and will not be turned to me in that moment. The practice of Adi is in every moment. It is the constant practice of turning to me and living in my divine avataric word, attachment to me and obedience to me. The play of these two in every moment is the context of the practice of Adi. Always be right and a whole through Yah. Always live by my instruction and thus and thereby be free to be turned to me. Remain always free to be turned to me by being right in your life. Live in the practice day by day. Then you will not become preoccupied with problems and obstructions and distractions in the member's mind of lies, deceit, diversion, illusion, driven motivations. To be free of that, like flowing water, is the fundamental circumstance of moment-to-moment practice. Wherever the obstruction occurs, there is some business to handle, some instruction of mind to follow, some kind of action required to clear the way through. When your life business is handled as well as it can be in this world, then be turned to me and forget about it. Thank you, Master. When the ego memory is undone, all the energies of the body-mind complex return to the true heart. Until those energies are resolved in the true heart, there is no perfect practice of perfect knowledge. The perfect practice of perfect knowledge is inherently in Atmanadi, or the root current of transcendental spiritual love bliss. All the preliminaries to the perfect practice of perfect knowledge are inherently in the body-mind complex. The perfect practice of perfect knowledge does not exercise the body-mind complex because there is nothing that needs to be returned to the place of origin if everything is already returned to the place of origin. All the motors of attention and all the energies of the body-mind self that bind you, divert you, distract you, command you, move you, direct your life, must become subject to the discipline of my instruction, and you must be turned to me in all of that rightened life, so that the otherwise flying energies, the psychomotivated energies of attention, fall into devotional communion with me. By tendency, the energies of the body-mind complex go out, directed toward their purposes. When there are no longer any such purposes, the practice has become perfect. The yoga of the root current of transcendental spiritual love bliss requires the fall of all the psychophysical energies into the heart space. This resolution cannot be accomplished by the mind. Only in the absolute transcending of mind does this event occur. How is this resolution to be accomplished? Not by seeking, but by finding me, locating me, devotionally recognizing me, turning to me by whole bodily invocation of me, moment to moment, always living by my instruction. Relinquish the memory of this world and in due course be my perfect practice devotee. As my perfect practice devotee, you remain in the world. Where else are you going to go? My perfect practice devotee remains in the world, in inverted commas, but not as a mama. My perfect practice devotee may yet seem to be a mama to any ordinary view because the body moves and talks and does as bodies do. Nevertheless, as my perfect practice devotee, you will not be a mama because all of the faculties will be turned to me and the life lived will be right life, not merely the life of a dramatic participant in the ego world.